Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Loop In. Oh, something happened there. I'm going to go ahead and let it happen. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Looped In with Maritza. Apologies for the initial technical glitch. Um, we will now be broadcasting the show on Zoom instead of StreamYard until further notice. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join me. As you know, I always have a few things that I like to discuss prior to bringing on my guests or my guests. So allow me to just briefly get back into screen sharing so that I can share with you some flyers for some important information on some things that are happening in and around the city of Philadelphia, which is where I'm broadcasting from live to you today. So allow me to share my screen. And right now I'm going to be sharing with you. This is the information to allow everyone in the Northeast of the United States to join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. August 12th for the Northeast virtual meetup for the National Parents Union. The link is a tiny URL. It is https://tinyurl.com/V as in Victor HDT 2U54. There is still time to register for this event. If for any reason you're not able to click onto that registration link, please send me an email at maritza@npunion.org and I'll be happy to send you that link. I'd also like to share with you another little bit of information about some things that are going to be going on. This is something that's very important. This is the Take Action campaign, which will be August 27th through the 29th. An educator's pledge to teach the truth. Lawmakers in at least 28 states are attempting to pass legislation that will require teachers to lie to students about the role of racism, heterosexism, and oppression throughout U.S. history. In response, there are very courageous educators across the United States that are signing a pledge to teach truth, to raise public awareness about the danger of these bills. They're inviting educators to make a pledge in public in gatherings nationwide, August 27th, 28th, and 29th. This follows the June 12th pledge to Teach Truth Day of Action in dozens of cities across the United States. This invitation is being extended by the Zen Education Project, coordinated by Rethinking Schools and Teaching for Change, Black Lives Matter at School, and the African American Policy Forum. It is endorsed by March on Voting Rights, Race Forward, New York, NYU Metro Center, National Equity Project, Center for Black Educator Development, Jessica Simkin School for Human Rights, and more. Organizations are also invited to join the list of endorsers. This weekend of action will be taking place in Montgomery, Alabama, Anchorage, Alaska, Ketchikan, Alaska, Mesa, Arizona, Springdale, Arkansas, Los Angeles, California, Washington, D.C., Athens, Georgia, Decatur, Georgia, Chelsea, Massachusetts, Princeton, New Jersey, Newburgh, New York, Youngstown, Ohio, Spencer, Oklahoma, Albany, Oregon, North Wales, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Richmond, Virginia, Greendale, Wisconsin. If you're interested in finding out more about the Teach Truth campaign, please make sure to go on to teachtruthpledge.org for more information. They would love to see parent involvement. What more better endorsement for a teacher is there than being able to say, I need to make sure that my children are taught the truth, or that they continue to be taught the truth without the danger of any type of repercussions, just because they want to teach their children that attend their schools the correct, accurate, complete history. I'm going to share a few more things with you, but I'm not going to be sharing the screen to let you know. This Friday and Saturday in Philadelphia will be the 18th annual Give Back Community Festival and Concert, sponsored by the Nicetown CDC. It will be at 4300 Germantown Avenue in Philadelphia, as early as noon until 8 p.m., both Saturday and Sunday. But what's happening on Saturday, there will be a peace walk from Nicetown Park. We need to demand peace in our streets, family. I mean, I was just looking at some information. There have been more than 130 minor children shot in the city of Philadelphia since, in the past month. To date, this is how many children. The youngest was a 1-year-old child that received a bullet that wasn't intended for that baby last month, got shot. As of Tuesday, there have been 327 people killed in the city of Philadelphia alone. I hope that the $126 million that's being allocated to help stop and purge this violence is used sensibly in a sensible manner. Please stay safe. Also, as of midnight tonight, all businesses in the city of Philadelphia are required to make sure that anyone coming to their establishment wears a mask. And the reason is that this COVID-19 is resurging, more and more cases, specifically the Delta variant. People are still not taking this seriously. So you're either going to have to prove that you've been vaccinated, or you must wear a mask when you go into any business beginning effective midnight tonight in the city of Philadelphia. This is happening not only here, but in other areas across the country. Please stay safe, family. Please stay safe. This is very, very serious. If this continues, we can very surely run the risk of having a complete shutdown again across this country in several states. We really do not want that happening. So please do everything possible to make sure that you're safe. Now I'd like to bring on my two guests, and I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves so that we can begin our discussion. If you have any comments, any questions for my guests or for me, please put it in the Facebook chat so that I can see and be able to respond. Please introduce yourselves in the Facebook chat so that I can see and be able to respond.
Hi, my name is Becca Patterson-Gertie. I'm currently a junior at the Philadelphia High School for the Creative and Performing Arts as a theater major. I sing, I act, and I'm currently learning how to play the piano.
What's good, everybody? My name is Eli Capella. I'm a creative and performing artist. I am a rapper, singer, songwriter, teacher, event curator, and I do a bunch of amazing things with the Eco Foundation. My event series is called Culture Soldiers, where we dedicate our platform to preserving the culture and booking artists who are involved in the community. Nice to see you all.
Thank you very much for agreeing to be on the show. And before I do not want to forget the big old kids party that's going to be happening next Friday on the 20th. Elijah, if you have the information, please say it. Look for it. Oh, you'll be hosting. That's great. Please give us information on where it's going to be happening. Also, the Ray of Hope Foundation will be having their food giveaway this Saturday, the 14th, 1600 Ron Street in Northeast Philadelphia. Please come with bags. They want to be able to feed 300 families. So please be ready to receive the wonderful gift of food for those of you that are experiencing food loss in your homes as a result of not being able to work or having the funds available to adequately feed your family. This is an excellent resource. Please join Mr. Gant in also raising funds for his foundation. He is almost close to his goal of $2,000. Ray of Hope Foundation. You can look them up. Raymond Ganton. You can look them up on Facebook. And I mean, every little bit helps. So I want to start the discussion, and Elijah, towards the end, if you can get me the information on the big old kids party, I can share it with everyone. Mecca, let me ask you, are you ready to be back in school?
Yep.
Okay. And for those that do not know, Mecca and Eli are two of our 6 children. I originally was going to have another young man join us as Mecca's guest, but unfortunately, he had a family vacation and had to cancel on me. So Eli kindly agreed to be on here so I can get his side as a young person, a millennial, with regards to what's going on in and around the city and across the country, frankly. So Mecca, school for you right now, as of today, you know, it is still scheduled to be in person. You're going to be required to wear a mask all day long while you're in school. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't care what I gotta wear as long as I'm there.
As long as you're in person, right?
Yeah.
And I'm quite sure a lot of your friends feel the same way. There hasn't been the COVID vaccine has been offered to anyone age 12 and older. You received the COVID vaccine. You are fully vaccinated against anything serious regarding the COVID-19 virus. Anyone can still get the COVID-19 virus. It's just that with the vaccine, hopefully it would not lead to a severe illness and hospitalization, and hopefully, you know, to the point where a person passes away. So as a teenager that has been vaccinated, how do you feel about your peers when you see, how are you going to feel if they tell you that they're not vaccinated? Are you going to be worried for them? Are you going to be worried for yourself, or both?
I'm not gonna be worried at all, as long as they're just keeping themselves safe and like still wearing a mask when they're near me.
Okay, and you're gonna let them know. And are you gonna let them know? Could you please make sure you keep your mask on?
Yeah, especially in school. I don't know who y'all be around. That's not for me.
Okay, Eli, as a millennial, that has stated that you have not been vaccinated. How do you feel hearing the stories, hearing the footage, hearing folks talking about the resurgence of it, people being hospitalized again, you know, children now being hospitalized because they're getting it? What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are one, if you're decided to not be vaccinated, then it's very important, especially if you're surrounding yourself with people to constantly get tested for COVID. Every week to every 2 weeks, I'll always make sure that I take the COVID test. It's free where I go. So even though I'm deciding not to be vaccinated, I'm still making sure that I'm being considered, that I'm taking precautions, that I mask up wherever I go. And as far as the people that's being hospitalized, there's a couple of things that I found just doing research, like whether it's online research, whether it's listening to podcasts, and very intelligent people such as Joe Rogan, who talk about how 78% of people who have been sick with the COVID-19 virus, who are hospitalized, also suffer from obesity. You feel me? So I don't think that. So if you're gonna get the vaccine, that's fine. It's all a matter of perspective. But above all, we have to strive to maintain our health and to make sure that we're making optimal choices outside of the vaccine as well to take care of our bodies. Because 78% of the people who are hospitalized are suffering from obesity. You know, bad diets, not drinking enough water, not exercising enough, so on and so forth. So whether you do or do not, it's equally important that you take herbs. It's equally important that you have a good diet. It's equally important that you're exercising. And it doesn't have to be anything extreme. Walking around the block, drinking water, a gallon of water a day can make a difference, you know?
Absolutely. That's something that I do agree with that. From what I've seen, everyone has been affected differently that he has even taken the vaccine. Some people, they had nothing but the sniffles. Other people had flu-like symptoms. Yet other people, they ended up being down for quite a few days. I think it all depends on whether or not a person already had a pre-existing condition or how their body was at that moment in time when they took that virus, because it's the vaccine, because the vaccine is a virus. So whatever you have going on in your system, it's gonna fight it. So naturally your body fighting back will be, you feeling certain symptoms. So everything for everyone has been affected differently by this. And it's very interesting how the hope is that now that the school district is requiring, they're fully backing a mandate that makes sure that all school district employees be vaccinated. And if they're not vaccinated, they're going to have to be tested weekly. Now the weekly test, I don't know if it's still going to be something that is already paid for by the school district as they did last school year, which was not bad, because for those that do not know, I worked for the school district last year. I was a school district secretary for one of the local schools here in my neighborhood, and I got tested every single week, even after I got myself vaccinated, just to make sure I was okay. Because again, family, even if you are vaccinated, you can still get it. You can still be a carrier of it, and you can still spread it, especially if you're not practicing, precautions by washing your hands and keeping a mask on and things of that nature. So those are things that a lot of us really do need to understand. My concern now is for the little ones. Eli, you work with younger children under the age of 12?
At the moment, 12 and over.
Okay. But there may be the possibility of you working with younger children.
Yes.
So, that is something that for anyone that's going to be working around younger children, it's going to be even more important that all the adults that have an understanding of what's going on, make sure that they keep themselves protected to make sure that they don't pass anything on to the children. And the hope is that the parents and guardians of all these children that are going to be coming back to school have also been exercising precautions, and restraint when it comes to being around other people outside of their normal bubble. We have to make sure that we remain vigilant, because that, from what I'm hearing, it is hitting what's called tender age children the worst. And the rate of hospitalizations of younger children is skyrocketing. And we don't want any more of our children to end up being hospitalized, because now, even with all this is going on, there is now a hospital staff shortage, not just for nurses, but just hospital staff in general. There is now an extreme shortage because of people leaving the profession as a result of what's going on. People being, because of mandates, they're refusing to get the vaccine. They've been resigning or being let go from their jobs. There's just a shortage of caregivers in hospital facilities across the country. So we really have to make sure we remain vigilant with regards to this. So a little bit more about the vax and unvax. I myself am being very intentional in making sure people understand that if you come near my home and you're not vaccinated and you have to wear a mask. Anyone that doesn't live in our home has to wear a mask. I mean, you could say, Elijah, when you come here, we ask you to wear a mask. If you're around someone that's elderly, everybody should be wearing a mask, vaccinated or not. If you're around a person that's elderly, our living ancestors, we must protect them. Anyone that is immunocompromised, we must protect them. Everybody needs to just take care of everybody else. Just look out for each other and be safe. You guys have any thoughts on that? Becca, you have any thoughts on that?
I just think that you should keep yourself safe, and you should want to keep your other family members around you safe. So, you know, just take the safe precautions to make sure that you're good.
And what about you, Elijah?
I think you gotta be at peace with the cons that come with anything that you want to do. So I understand that, by not taking the vaccine, I'm not gonna get mad when I gotta wear a mask. Feel me? Like if I get a dog, yeah, of course I appreciate the companionship, but I can't get mad at a dog for barking. So you just gotta be comfortable with both sides of the coin. So I understand that if I gotta rock a mask, that's fine. Regardless of what I believe, I'm a very big on consideration. So if people feel uncomfortable, if I was to hop on the bus and not rock a mask, then I have to consider that people's peace of mind and their comfort. So I throw on the mask.
Okay, okay. So Mecca, back to school, back in person. Can you tell me how you feel about the change in schedule? It's affecting a lot of children across the city. It's 3 different start times that are different. You're either going to start earlier, you're going to start later, or it's just going to be like maybe a 15-minute difference. But for you in particular, for your school, from what I understand, your first class is going to start at 7:30.
It's not.
It's not. What time is your class day going to start?
They sent an email 2 weeks ago. School starts at 8:00, but it used to start at 7:55 when we were in person before COVID happened.
Okay, so your start time is
now. School starts at 8:00 and the day ends at 3:05.
So it's just about a 5 to 10 minute difference for you now.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good. But I mean, there are others. How would you feel if you were told you had to start school an whole hour earlier, or half an hour earlier? How would you feel about having to get on public transportation? And to honestly, how would you feel about that?
I guess
As a high school student, I'm being serious, Mecca. I'm serious.
Oh, I would be upset because what in my head I would think, what is the purpose of this? Everybody's commute is different, and some people that go to my school, my school offers education to everybody throughout the city. So some people's commute is longer than others. Mine isn't that bad because all I have to do is just take the sub and go a couple of stops. But there's people who take hour and 30 minutes bus rides to school. And I couldn't imagine them already waking up early enough and then having to start school an hour earlier than that. It's just, it wouldn't be a good thing. And also, at first, when I thought school started at 7:30, they were still going to have us end at 3:00. And I feel like that still isn't fair at all because we deserve to leave earlier if we're coming early to the building.
Wow. And for families that don't know this, I just saw an article that stated that 20 different state legislators across the city of Philadelphia, those state representatives that represent us, have sent a letter of concern to the school district of Philadelphia, expressing their concerns after speaking to constituents as well as parents and parents and families, stating that it's going to be a hardship for a lot of families. Mecca, yours is just 5 minutes, but for those families that have different age children in their homes, that are working families, that may not have the support to be able to make sure that their child gets to school safely and on time while the breadwinner of the family goes to work, jobs are going to be affected. It's going to be a safety concern. Older siblings are going to be left responsible for getting their younger siblings to school, then getting themselves to school. So it's going to be I just think it's going to be a big mess in that regard. And it's definitely going to be a safety issue. So the response from the district, from what I read, is that they're going to keep it the way it's been decided as is and see what happens. So I just hope that families have supports in place and have backup plans to make sure that they're able to go ahead and do what they need to do to get their children to school in a safe and timely manner, and also still be able to keep their jobs. I want to move on now to a topic that is really it's really heavy. with regards to the violence that's been increasing across the city. I stated earlier that more than 130 minors have been shot in the city of Philadelphia to date. And the youngest was a 1-year-old that was hurt last month. I'm sorry, family. I have some children here that, due to doing something they should not have done, they're sitting in a timeout, and now they're trying to really be distracting. And I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm still gonna do my show. They're still gonna sit where they're sitting, and I'm still gonna be here. So don't mind me looking to my left every once in a while, just to give them that mama look. And as of Tuesday night, as I stated earlier, 327 people have been killed to date in the city of Philadelphia. As two young people, a 16-year-old and a 25-year-old, can you tell me what your thoughts are about the violence going on in the city? Mecca, who wants to go first? Because I'm very interested in hearing.
The violence going on in the city, it's kind of sad that I'm kind of numb to it in a way, because I always hear about somebody being shot or killed, and it's just it's like we shouldn't have to hear it every day. And I've been so used to it, and it's just really sad that people my age, even younger, are getting killed in this for no reason.
Eli, what are your thoughts?
I think it's important to be aware, but I think that I can't control the amount of murders that's going on in the city, unfortunately. You feel me? And I'm the kind of person that if something is out of my hands, then I'll focus on shedding light in my corner. So I know that one of the reasons why shootings occur is because a lot of children are emotionally unstable, especially like boys, and a lot of children don't really have a purpose. You start to think differently when you move with a purpose in life, and that's why I started my program Wild Tunes. Y stands for We Hear Youth. It's a studio recording therapy program that I do starting at the age of 12, and I work with children under 12, but those were mostly one-on-one clients, and I notice how frustrated they get easily, and it's because of the social dynamic that we grow up in. So I'll speak for boys because I'm a boy. Well, I'm a man, and I was a boy. Many times we grow up in a social environment where we don't really have any outlets for any kind of emotional turmoil that we're going through. When one of my youngest cry, there's a girl that's laughing at them because they're crying. There's other boys that's laughing at them. We don't have a view where where different women are talking about emotional topics. We don't have an Oprah Winfrey show, so on and so forth. So it's just important to provide those platforms. And I find that most of the teens and men who are doing the shooting, those were the little boys that weren't allowed to express their emotions. So when you suppress yourself, how you're feeling is going to manifest itself one way or another. It's either a healthy way or a toxic way. So I keep myself aware about what's going on in the city, but I'm just very big on just shifting my perspective. Like, all right, what can I do to make sure that I play my part? Because I can't save the world. That's just how I feel. But what can I do to make sure that I inspire and that I ignite at least one young person, so that there's one less person that's killing and there's one more person that's giving life. That's it.
Thank you. I mean, and I absolutely agree. There also needs to be more of a focus. The programs are excellent, but there need to be more programs. These programs need to receive more funding. And like I said earlier, there's going to be $156 million allocated to the city of Philadelphia. And I'm quite sure millions of dollars are also being allocated to many other urban cities across the country to help curb this increase in violence. I mean, you know, your mom is 50 now. Back then when somebody had an issue, you know, everybody took to the hands. That's not happening today. People don't know how to deal with their anger. And instead of talking it out, even arguing it out, even just having a fist fight, they're resorting to taking guns, acquiring guns, stealing guns illegally, and hurting each other. The talk is over. People can't even sit in their cars in front of their own home and things are happening. You can't go for a car ride at night. Last week I was fortunate enough to be a part of a block party that was sponsored by the 24th Philadelphia Police District. That was the safest time. That 2.5 block stretch of that Kensington neighborhood had no violence or drug activity or drug use in a very long time. We saw families out there with children. Children were playing. Elderly folks were sitting outside on their steps, enjoying the atmosphere, enjoying the music, enjoying the food, enjoying looking at the children playing a bounce house and getting their faces painted and climbing a rock wall and, you know, just enjoying being outside without the fear of violence coming off around them. I mean, it was wall-to-wall police officers, yes. They need to bring back more community policing. They need to bring back, and they stopped doing it like 15 years ago due to budget concerns. They need to bring that back where police officers walked a beat. They need to bring them back all over the place, but they also need to bring back programs where they have community people work in conjunction with law enforcement so that that trust can be brought back. Because there's still many people that, due to their personal experiences, the things that they've seen happen to others by those rotten apples in law enforcement, that they don't trust any member of law enforcement. And it shouldn't be that way. It really should not be that way, and it's unfortunate. But I truly hope, just like the millions of dollars that are coming down the pike for school districts, I hope that money is spent wisely. I hope that the community also comes out in force to make sure that the millions of dollars that are being allocated for crime prevention and awareness in your communities is also spent in a wise manner. Please use your voices, family. Use your voices at these meetings when they happen, wherever they happen, whenever they happen. The community meetings, participation by the community is very important. Just like school board meetings are very important to make sure families are heard with regards to their education concerns. When it comes to the safety and security in your neighborhoods, you also have to come and be a part and say your piece and be vocal. Don't allow a sense of apathy to come into your mindset. I mean, hearing Mecca say that she's becoming used to hearing the news about senseless shootings and killings, that it shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't live in a society where we're used to it. It's not a good, it's the sense of apathy when it comes to saying that the schools are never going to change. It shouldn't be that way. Just like when people are coming around seeking your vote for elected office, do not allow a sense of voting apathy to control your mind, your thought process. Be that change, be that example for your family, for your peers, for your neighbors, to let them know you're one of those people that are going to talk, that are going to question, that are going to vote, that are going to take people to task. And if your elected official is not doing anything for you, vote their butts out. Vote them out. If your school does not have a parent group, or the parent group that they have in place is not doing anything, change them. If there isn't one, create one. If you want help, let National Parents Union know we can help you with that. So my young people, both of you, what advice as young people, what advice would you give to adults that have not had the opportunity to voice their concerns about what's going on in schools right now? You know, this, you know, what can you say to parents that are like, I don't know what I should do, or I don't know what I should say to my young people in my home about what's going to be happening come August 31st about being safe and wearing a mask? What would you advise a parent to say to their children?
Um, I would tell parents to, I mean, like, yeah, I would tell parents and elders to remember that, you know, most communication is nonverbal. So when you're telling your child to do something, when you want them to move a certain way, when you want them to behave a certain way, it's equally important that you tell the person in the mirror that. um I think that one of the disconnects is the level of expectations that I see parents having on their children at times is usually a void for the fear that they can't face themselves. So if you really want to so one of the biggest things that I do with my kids is I show them who I am the first day that they meet me. I show them like I'm not timid. I'm not coming with any false humility. I showed them, yo, I'm not just saying that I'm an artist. I get paid for my work. I'm in an apartment right now that's mine because of what I do. And I show them my music videos, and I show them my concert footage, and I show them a live performance right in front of them with speakers and the microphone, so on and so forth, so that any form of doubt, any form of learned behavior where they decide to try to test the waters and say that I'm not what I am is already out the window. And I think that if you really want your child to do something, whether it's something as simple as wearing the mask, or something as maximal as uh taking their um scholarly endeavors to the highest level that they can. You gotta ask yourself, am I doing what I really want to do right now, or am I just getting by and saying that I'm doing it because I got kids? Because there's so many opportunities out here for you to do what you want to do. Don't blame it on age. Don't blame it on health, because there's always because if you still living, then there's always an opportunity to finish strong. But I'm gonna let my little sis go. That's
Thank you.
my TED talk.
What I would have to say to parents about their children going back to school, or just talking to their children in general, I feel like don't assume things. Ask them first how they're feeling. Make sure that you understand that they're still trying to figure out life as well as you are, but they're young and they need your guidance, and you trying to make them do things, or you not really hearing what they're saying, or not trying to communicate with them as an actual person. That's not going to work, and that's going to make them feel even more blocked to talking to you regardless. So just try to level with them, and just try to let them know that you're here for them, and that whenever they are comfortable to talk, that you're there for them when they need you. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
I want to thank the two of you very much for giving me some of your time and allowing me to share with whomever watches the podcast the point of view of two young people that are definitely outspoken, that are involved in their community, involved with their families. I'm very proud of the both of you for what you've been doing, what you continue to do, what we're going to continue to do together as a family, as far as, you know, helping those around us by being an example, helping them, explaining to them that it can be done because you're doing it. Um, it's very important that the good stories are shared and the bad stories as well. Because a lot of times out of difficult and hard situations, jewels come from that. Jewels of knowledge come from that, and you both know that. So I want to thank you both for blessing me with your time today. Um, I'm so not used to not having StreamYard. You guys just don't know. I really, I gotta have some conversations because I miss it. There's some things I want to show, and I'm not used to it. And since I gotta produce my own stuff, I guess I gotta get better at it. So it could be a smoother process. But I have some closing thoughts and some closing information for people that I want to once again announce. Elijah, thank you for posting this. Family in Philadelphia, the big old kids party. If you are an adult and miss, kids parties where you had things like horseback riding or double dutch or, playing or playing freeze tag or 1 2 3 red light or just having, just the fun things, the candy, the now laters, the charms lollipops, the music that you listened to when you were younger. Friday, August 20th, there's going to be prizes. They're going to be giveaways. It's going to be music artists. Eli Capella is going to be one of the hosts. Kyle, the conductor, is going to be there as well. It's going to be this Friday, August 20th at Smith Memorial Playground, 3500 Reservoir Drive in Philadelphia from 5 to 8 p.m. You must RSVP at bigoldkidsparty.com. And guess what, family? They're providing childcare for free. So, but you must RSVP. I'm going to this one. I missed the last one. I'm not missing this one. I'm going to go. You're going to see me with my little ones, the little ones. I don't know if Mecca wants to go too, but I'm going to be riding with at least 4 deep. I'm going to be there. I would love to see you, talk to you. I'm going to be talking about National Parents Union while I'm there. For those of you that are interested in being a member of National Parents Union, it's free. www.nationalparentsunion.org. Go onto our website, click on membership, become a member, get a multitude of resources to help you, help your school community. Help anyone that you know that hasn't, that had some obstacles, some areas of opportunity regarding education. We'd be happy to help. If you want to get in contact with Eli Capella, you can look for him at Eli Capella 9 on his Instagram account. He's also on Facebook as Eli Capella. If you need to reach me, Maritza at npunion.org. Don't forget, Northeast family, the virtual meetup is tomorrow. This is not going to be something that's going to be live on Facebook. You must register for the link. Please register for the link. I'll show it up. I'll share it one more time with you guys. Give me one moment. I'm going to share the picture with you. I can make sure you guys see it. Where did my share this? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to play with that right now. I'm not going to share it. Go on to the National Parents Union Northeast page on Facebook. The information is there. I'm going to be sharing it out again on my personal page, National Parents Union page, National Parents Union Northeast page, on Twitter, as well as everywhere else where you see our information. We want families to join us, join in the conversation, join in the discussion, share your thoughts, share what's going on in your community. If you are not a member, you can become a member. You just want to see what we're about. Bring a friend, bring several friends, as many as needed. Look at Mecca. Mecca's helping me. She's my hype person right there. Mecca is always my hype person. She's not even talking. She's miming and letting you guys know just to join us. Next week, I'm going to have some more wonderful guests. It's very hot. If you can't tell, I'm sweating. It's very hot in Philly today. Mecca, please don't do that. It's very hot in Philly today, and I don't have central air. So I'm going to cut it a few minutes short, family. Don't forget, this weekend, Nicetown CDC Give Back event, Nicetown Park. We're going to be there. National Parents will be there. We will be there with a table giving out information. We're going to be handing out some swag. And for anyone that becomes a member right then and there, you're going to get a little gift from me. I hope everyone continues to stay safe. Please wear your mask. Please keep your family safe. Listen out for what's going on in your communities. Stay safe, family. Please stay safe. Do not use violence as a method of resolving any issues. Try to talk it out. I will see everyone next week. Thank you again to Mecca and Elijah. Love you both. See you soon. Family, I'll see you soon. This is Maritza Gertie with Looped In Maritza, sponsored by the National Parents Union. Have a great, great afternoon, everybody.